Hey everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, like I already said, my name is Alex and I am a YouTuber here that makes vlogs and other type of videos. And today's actually going to be a little bit of a different type of video than I usually film. For any of my subscribers or viewers that constantly watch my vlogs, you would know that I am currently a freshman in college right now. So it's been kind of stressful, I'm not even gonna lie, and I wanted to go ahead and make this video to kind of show everyone how I incorporate like technology kind of into my study habits and my everyday college life, I guess. And this is gonna revolve around the iPad Pro. For many of you that don't know, the iPad Pro is basically an iPad, but it's a little bit different. I know it has like better like chips and stuff. I'm not too technologically advanced in that, and I know it has like cameras and stuff that are like better. But they also have support for the Apple Pencil, which is why I basically have all my notes digital now, along with PowerPoints and everything. I use my iPad more than I use my MacBook Pro, which says a lot because I used to use the MacBook Pro for literally everything. So the fact that I have made a way to put it all into my iPad and use my iPad every single day is actually really good. So I wanted to go ahead and share it with you guys on how I stay organized and use my iPad in my everyday life of studying. So before we actually really get started, I kind of want to just show you guys my iPad. So I have the 12.9 32 gigabyte space gray iPad Pro. This is the huge one. Okay, it's not the smaller, the 10-inch one. This is like the huge one, and this is just a case I have off Amazon. It's basically a one-piece case that's like plastic on the back to protect it from scratching and dents, and then it has like a smart cover feature, so you can open it up and it like turns on. My ring light is really gonna get in the way of this because of this giant screen, but I'll try my best to avoid the glare. So it's huge, you guys. Like, okay, this is my everyday planner I use. Literally bigger than that. I have a 13-inch MacBook Pro Retina, and here, it's a little dirty, but yeah, literally the same size as a 13-inch MacBook Pro. So it is a big device. It's a lot lighter than the MacBook, especially for this is not too old of a one, but it's not like the newest ones, you know? And it's definitely a lot lighter, so it takes up way less, and thinner too. I should show you guys that too, shouldn't I? It's a lot thinner than the MacBook, so it fits in your backpack way easier, and it doesn't take up that much weight either, so it's really light on your back. Some days I usually take just this, sometimes I take both, and sometimes I take just my MacBook, depending on my classes. Like for my logics class, I usually handwrite everything, and that's my only class for the day. So if I'm not going to the library or nothing, I literally just take my laptop, because I don't want to bring this around and have two like expensive devices with me at all times. So yeah, this is the space gray / black 32 gigabyte iPad Pro 12.9, and the reflection is really bad, but yeah, this is it. And I guess I'll kind of go over some things real quick, but one of my favorite features it actually has the fingerprint scanner. So if I just put my finger on there, it literally unlocks so quick. It's literally just like the iPhones are. So it makes it really convenient, so you don't have to like type in your passcode, because for my passcode, I have like the letters instead of like the actual digits, the number digits, so I literally can just place my finger on there and it's unlocked. So yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and change the viewing settings so you guys can see it a little bit better without all this glare and get a better like point of view presentation. But I just wanted to go ahead and share my iPad. Oh, also I can't forget this. So I actually bought the Apple Pencil with it too, like I mentioned earlier. This is really expensive, but I think if you're gonna buy an iPad Pro, it is so worth the investment. I actually bought a case off Amazon to like go with it. It's like this little storage case, and like you can like put it in there and it like zip it up. The zipper's kind of loud, which is annoying, but it's just so easy to just throw in your backpack. And yeah, so I'll go into depth more with it later, but like even with this case, somehow the magnets like right there, they hold the iPad or the Apple Pencil right there. So sometimes if I'm like in class and like I close it, I can just stick it there and it won't like fall off. Which I don't think that's a feature of the smart cover. I just think it just happened to be a coincidence. And it's used for a lot of things on your iPad. I use it all for handwriting. I don't do drawing like other people. I like to focus my iPad on strictly note-taking and like studying and all that. This is basically a digital notebook. Like instead of using pen and paper, I do everything on this. So it's syncing to my laptop with, I use Microsoft OneNote, which I'll go into depth later on too. But yeah, I use Microsoft OneNote to sync all my notes so I can look at all my handwritten notes on my computer too. So anyways, I'll go right into the video and not hold you guys any further, and we can go ahead and see how I use my iPad Pro every day. Okay guys, so here is my iPad Pro 12.9, and I'll just go ahead and get right into everything I use on an everyday basis. So like I already showed you before, this is the lock screen. I have the same lock screen and home screen, so I just use my fingerprint to unlock the iPad. And you can see I have a lot of apps. Not all of these are school-based. I have my handy dandy Apple Pencil right here. And I will just go ahead and show you guys the main apps I use. These are just all like Apple apps. I don't really use them on an everyday basis. Sometimes the Apple Pencil will not work unless you like plug it in for a sec. I don't know if that's an Apple flaw or... But then, yeah, the cap is magnetic, so you just put that right back in and... yeah, now it works. So this is just a folder of all my Apple apps that I don't really use on an everyday basis. These are just some other apps. I'm not really going to go into detail about all these, but I'll just go through the ones I mainly use, like I already said. So the main one I use all the time has to be Microsoft OneNote. I use this app on my MacBook Pro too, and I can just write all my notes, sync everything up right away, and it's just so convenient to use. So as you can see, this was me. Here, I'll put it in full screen mode. This was me handwriting my exam 1 review for my anatomy and physiology class, also called Bio 1006. So you can see I handwrite all these notes with my iPad Pro. And like you can obviously do all sorts of highlighters and stuff, so it keeps you very organized, and you can just like write so much. I actually inserted a picture from my textbook into there, and it's just super easy to do all these things. So like I went through and did some definitions and highlighted them obviously, and I used like green highlight to show like a function, and then like blue highlight to show other definitions that relate to the main definition, if that makes sense. So you guys can just see how much like I actually wrote, and I did this all yesterday, and I did some quiz practice with that. Oops. You can like also zoom in and out. I usually do the smallest lined paper like College World, then I zoom all the way in, and I'll show you guys how I actually write my notes. This is going to be a little bit difficult behind camera because it took me so long just to get this angle, but we'll go ahead and do like, you click the draw function, and then you can choose from an eraser. You can do a pen with multiple colors, and then you have your highlighters. So I'll go ahead and show you guys like how I write. So basically, I'm going to have to turn it a little bit this way, but I can write like, so today we'll do more Bio 1006, and that's like for my day. Obviously my handwriting is really bad right now, so yeah, and then like you can go ahead and start doing your notes, and if you want you can start like highlighting certain things, and you can obviously change the thickness of all your highlighters, the colors. There's just so much you can do through this app. And one of my favorite things to do is like when I'm doing structures, you can click this ink to shape. So let's say you're trying to draw like a square, it'll go ahead and make it perfect for you. It's very like precise though, so if you like that one, I made it sideways, it like does that too. So yeah, you can do like triangles. Okay, well I didn't make the lines connect, but you get the point, and you can do that. There's so many different things that I really don't know 100% about this app, but this is what I mainly use. Also for my notes, like my actual in-class notes, I'll go ahead and show you what I do. So I usually take a PDF printout of my notes from our online school homepage thing, and I obviously insert them as a PDF printout, and I'll go ahead and as she's talking, I will go ahead and highlight certain things from our lecture, and that way I'll be able to go back and see what I should be studying more on. And also I was typing out some notes. I was doing this off my MacBook, but then also in this section you can go ahead and do some handwritten notes like I did in this little writing section. And also I was going back and forth between my MacBook and the iPad, but it all works really seamlessly and definitely helps me study more. One thing I do like about the iPad Pro is you can obviously scan things with certain apps and you can insert them into any one of your note-taking apps. So there's different applications I have for that. So like I can use ScanBot, Adobe Acrobat, or Adobe Scan, and I can like use the camera to scan a picture and insert it right into my notes. So it's very helpful for like syllabus and stuff like that where you can't or if you don't want to carry like the paper copy everywhere, you can just go ahead and scan it and then it puts it right onto anything you need. It can also save it to your photos and it can save it onto your actual iPad files. I don't know too much about the iPads. Like I used to have one a long time ago, but now there's like all these new features like this dock stuff, which I'm not really familiar about. I just know how to use my Microsoft OneNote and a few other things. Like I use Spotify all the time, listen to music with my headphones. I have my mail. And that's about it. I really don't know how to use all the features on this. I just wanted to show you guys how I do it. Also, I have certain apps for my McGraw-Hill ebook where I can go ahead and look at my ebook, and sometimes I will take screenshots of certain pages and go ahead and include those PDF or actual images into my notes, which is really easy. So when you're going into your Microsoft OneNote, like let's say we'll go back to my exam 1 review. If you want to go down here, like you have to click in text mode, so you can start that, and then you just click insert, and you can insert all sorts of things: pictures, camera, audio, file, and a PDF printout. That's how I actually insert all my stuff into my iPad Pro, into the actual application, so I can use it to study or highlight or draw on, and it's just very useful. And yeah, that's basically it for Microsoft OneNote. This is the only note-taking app I use and trust. I love how it syncs up to my MacBook. So literally everything you see here shows right up on your MacBook, and they sync flawlessly between each other. There's like no hiccups ever. So if anyone's looking to even take notes on their MacBook, or I even think even like regular PCs can download the Microsoft OneNote app, I strongly recommend it, as you are obviously very, very organized in your note-taking skills, which I use all the time. Alright guys, so I forgot to film this part earlier, so I'm filming it now. So another way I like to actually take my own notes is for my online classes, I usually pull up the page, and with the iPad Pro, you can do like a picture-in-picture video representation. So this is for my organic chemistry class, also known as Chem 2010, and basically what I do is you can like kind of move the video all around. And like I've said before, I print out like kind of like a PDF handout of all the slides, and I put it in my Microsoft OneNote, and I just go ahead and watch the video, and I can go ahead and highlight. And for example,
we're now seeing
like my professor will be talking, doing the thing, she's talking about her thing, and I'll go around and highlight certain things like the carbon atom, and then when she's going ahead and saying like, okay, well, make sure you remember this, I'll usually put like a little dot and start writing like, no, this. My handwriting is really bad right now, but you guys get the point. I've done this with many other chapters. I will show you guys some, like for chapter 14. All the way to the top, there's a lot of notes I take on my iPad Pro. So you can see how I do that here, talking about like the octet rule, carbon atoms, and stuff like that. And like I'll go ahead and draw figures to point to certain things, or sometimes like, you know, remembering or practice for myself, I'll go ahead and from previous chapters go ahead and show what that is. You know, it's just very interactive and it's perfect. Also, we have online homework too, but it's all like PDF pages. So what I do is I take them and insert them in, and I can go ahead and write right on the homework thing. So these are usually blank, so all these are written off my iPad. And yeah, this is how I do my homework online for practice. For this class, actually, homework is not graded. It is all optional. So you have to do it basically as your study guide for every quiz at the end of the week. So this is how I do this. And you can go ahead and pull the video back up if you want and continue watching it, make it full screen and whatnot, or resize it too. The one gripe I actually have about the iPad in general, or the iPad Pro, is I haven't been able to find an app that can actually simulate like a real planner. So I still use a real planner to make all my plans and like daily things because I cannot find an application that actually mimics. I still have to do things the old-fashioned way, which I really don't mind, but it keeps me still organized and I can have things done on time, and that's why I bought this. I actually got this from Target. If anyone is wondering, I use this literally every single day to keep my days in schedule all planned nice and organized because this does not have any apps like that I can see. The only app I can use is actually my homework, which is another good app for keeping track of your homework, but I always forget to mark stuff completed, so it always shows up late, and then I forget to put new homework in there. I used to use this religiously, but now I've just kind of gone away with it since I just put literally everything on this. So I'll go ahead and check on my actual real planner if I have any homework instead of relying on this. As you can see, all this is already outdated, so kind of forgot about it. Yeah, and that really concludes everything I use. Obviously I have Netflix and Hulu too if I want to watch some videos or movies or TV shows, but that is not school related. Anyways, guys, this kind of concludes my little iPad Pro for college video. Hopefully it was helpful for anyone out there. I definitely recommend the iPad Pro for anyone out there that is looking to buy it. Although they are pretty expensive, they are worth it if you ask me. Now, if you don't already have a MacBook Pro, and you were debating between either getting the iPad Pro or a MacBook Pro, or even like a MacBook or MacBook Air, I still feel the MacBook is a better investment in the long run for the money instead of the iPad. Yes, the iPad is very useful. I use it religiously every day for my college, but you literally cannot go without a laptop. And I'm sorry to say, I know for all these Windows fans and PC fans, I think MacBooks are so worth the money. I think no computer beats them, especially for school. I know they're really expensive to initially buy, but you guys, I've literally had this one since 2014 and it hasn't given me any problems whatsoever. I literally still use it every day. I edit all my vlogs on this, all my videos, everything. I use this way more than my iPad Pro on an everyday basis for everyday things, but when it comes to school, I use my iPad Pro a lot more. But they're both fantastic machines. They're obviously really expensive, but that is the Apple price tag you're gonna have to pay. But I honestly think they are such great, amazing, useful tools, especially if you are taking college really seriously and want to invest in something that's going to help you study to the best of your ability and help you get good grades. I definitely think the iPad Pro is worth it for sure. Yeah, I know pen and paper basically can do the same thing, but there's something about using an iPad and like having digital things that helps me stay a lot more organized, and it makes me want to learn, if that makes sense. So maybe other people are like that, or maybe I'm just a freak. I don't really know. Anyways, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, be sure to drop a like down below, and also comment down below any opinions or ideas or apps that you would recommend for me to check out, or just to let other people know in general. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to see more videos on my channel. And if you want to go ahead and check out other videos on my channel, there's a lot of vlogs and stuff like that you can watch. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Look at me with your sleep.